everybody. Thanks for watching. We're in Traverse City, more specifically Garfield Township, and we're talking about, well, hoarding. Meredith Hawes joins us now. She's the coordinator of the Traverse Bay Area Hoarding Task Force, correct?
That's right.
Thanks for making the time. All right, you have a meeting coming up, but we'll talk about that in a second. Can you kind of explain, though, what this Hoarding Task Force is all about? I'd never heard of it before.
Sure. So it's sort of a new approach, or actually not that new anymore, across the country to bring together a collaboration of many agencies and individuals to represent different entities and help create a plan or vision for people who have the desire to make some change and make their homes safer from hoarding.
Okay, so if someone is seeing this and go, yeah, I'd like to make some changes, I mean, what does that look like? How do you help them?
Sure. Well, people reach out in many different ways. It could be someone who kind of self-reports, or it may be a neighbor or a concerned relative, and they can reach out to us. We are sort of housed underneath the Aging and Disability Resource Collaborative. And so there's an 800 number that they can call, and then we'll take some information and talk to them about some of the changes they may want to make around the safety in their home.
Okay, let's be specific about what it is that hoarding is. How do you characterize a hoarder?
Sure. So hoarding is made up of really three components. It's the accumulation of stuff, a high degree of clutter. And that stuff takes over the house so that rooms are no longer used the way they are intended to be used. So, for example, no longer cooking in a kitchen or able to bathe in a bathroom area, sleep in a bed, sleep in a bedroom. And then it interferes with their daily life. So it's those three things.
And if I'm understanding what you're talking about, this all leads to unsafe conditions.
Absolutely. Unsafe for the resident. It could be compromised safety in the home, maintenance of the home. It could be neighbors, if there are nearby neighbors, or multifamily dwellings, rodents, infestations, and it can cause real risks for first responders who may be responding to a fire or medical call in the home.
Okay, so now what will the task force do if someone self-reports and says, look, my life's out of control, I need help? Sure.
So we'll talk with them and work with them. We really want to build some rapport and some trust. We're not looking to be intrusive. And then, along with them, using them in the plan to create a plan for maybe coming in and doing some cleanup. And this is around, whatever they're comfortable with, but looking specifically at safety. So exits are clear, smoke alarms are present, that there aren't any risks of collapsing items and that type of thing, and get their home to a more functional state.
Okay, so in January, you're having, a meeting, a conference? What is happening at this?
Sure. So we in the past have met monthly, and we've just made the change to meet quarterly and decided to have sort of a purpose or objective around those meetings. So coming up in January, we're going to have an informational meeting and looking to raise awareness in the community, just educate folks who have an interest, and draw in some maybe new team members or people who have the goal of the same thing. They may encounter hoarding in their regular work.
How are we doing on this? I mean, how big of a problem is this?
It's fairly big, actually, Vic. Through studies and research, we know that it affects about 3 to 5% of the total population. So if you think about just in Grand Traverse County, that can mean 3,000-4,000 people. And there's varying degrees. So you may have people that you're aware of, people you're unaware of, no one's been in the home for many, many years. But it can affect a large number of people. And so, and as I said, people may come into contact, or a family member may become aware of the risks with someone who's hoarding.
All right, so now, what if there's somebody out there who really needs help? They admit they have a situation, but they don't have the resources to take care of this. Can you help with that?
Yeah, we can. And we recognize first it's a very slow-moving process. We have had some funding through local entities, not a big amount of money, but we'll work with those folks, try to apply some funding if needed, or be able to kind of capitalize on our members on the task force who may be able to, pro bono offer some services like that.
All right. For those looking on the internet to find out more information about what this is all about, where can they go?
Yeah, if you Google Grand Traverse or Traverse Bay Area Hoarding Task Force, you'll see a few different resources in Michigan, and you'll find links to reaching us.
Excellent. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely.
In Traverse City, Garfield Township, I'm Vic McCarty for My News 26.